Well, alright. Alex here, your Vray guide, and I want to thank you very much for getting my book. And it was a great pleasure to get all your emails and feedbacks, and to know that you're enjoying this scene and the reading of this book, and you find it very useful. So thanks a lot, guys. That means really much to me. For those who are not familiar with me, my name is Alex Vasilyuk. I'm a 3D artist, and for the last 8 years I was working in the architectural industry. And during this period I developed some really useful tips, tricks, techniques that I want to share with you in this book of how to become a professional 3D artist. Of course, this book comes with this 3D bonus scene that you see, all free for commercial use. So let's check it out. Okay, the first chapter is talking about Vray. How does it work and where it's going? It's basically the information of how Vray was born, how it was developed by Chaos Group. It's basic principles, basic theoretical information about the Vray, how really Vray works, what is Vray, what is tracing engine, what is rendering engine, the difference between the use of Vray in particular programs, on 3D programs, 3D applications, and the future, what is going to be in the future. As you see here, GPU render, the really fast render that are about to come this summer. So I'll be giving a little basic information about its purpose. The next chapter is fundamental knowledge. It's basically those tips of how to develop your skills. How can you improve your photorealistic eye? How can you observe light? How can you practice light? Something like painting and photographing. But here I'm giving you exactly the tips, exactly the steps that you should make in order to improve your level of production. The next chapter is talking about system configuration. I'll be giving tips and explanation about monitor calibration, software calibration for 3D Max as Gamma setup. What's Gamma 2.2 and how it works, how it basically should work with your 3D Max and Vray, and how can you set it up. The explanation about linear workflow. I'll be giving some rendering examples for that matter, and I'll give you a really cheap computer configuration that you can buy, really professional 3D computer, and not giving out much money. The next chapter is attitude. It got really lots of comments on my blog. The most comments came from this article, and I developed it to a chapter in my book and added lots of useful tips on how to prepare your project, how to collect necessary information, how to plan your work even before you start your computer, some basic rules of work in progress, and how to avoid in working into production level. So how to use logic thinking in order to prevent some unpleasant situations, and where to get your feedbacks, and how to post your work on the internet in order to draw an attention. The next chapter is going to be is about your character, how the importance of your look, of your package, is basically how can you develop your character so you'll be much more successful, as well as in your business, with your colleagues at work, with your boss, clients, just everybody. It will be basically about this communication touchdown, is how do you connect with your core connection to other people, so it would be much easier from them to understand you and what you mean, what do you want to sell them, or you work with them, basically your work between people. I'll be giving some tips how you can use your failures in order to improve your productivity and of course to learn from your failures. The last chapter on this one is basically talks about healthy stuff, how should you eat, what should you eat, when, and those small tips in order to improve your eating, improve your body, losing fat, and that stuff is very, very important because it's a physical statement of your body that improves your mind and eventually improves your life. The next chapter is going to be is about how to avoid unpleasant working situations. It's about how to make contracts, clarify working conditions, all those necessary terms of use that you should know in order to post your work on the internet, and importance of developing time in delivering times. Some stuff that might get you into trouble, and I'm giving you some tips on how to avoid those unpleasant situations. Of course, payment condition tips and some tips on how can you protect your copyright, how can you protect your work from getting it from someone to get it or to steal it. So basically those tips on working situations, working standards, online and also not online, also between physical people on the same time. So basically this experience that I gathered with all the years, and I'm sharing here with you. The next stuff is the next chapter was how to get a job as a 3D artist. It basically talks about what to do after you finish your school or your studies, how to create your portfolio, how to create your website, your resume, and of course how to promote yourself on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and lots of other social media stuff. So basically those are really, really useful tips, and they are very updated to the newer technology. So this one basically goes for getting this job, getting this project. Next chapter is knowing your resources. I'm sharing here with you all my working resources, all of them for free, and those links I've gathered for the last 8 years of working in the industry, and I know that not many of you are familiar with them. So those are links with high quality 3D models, textures, Vray materials, IS light, HDRI maps, and other free references, catalogs, that everything you can get online for free. I'll be sharing those links and this useful information with you on this last chapter. And of course the bonus is, as you see here, Nuba Core 3D scene made with Vray and 3D Max. You're getting it for full commercial use with all the lighting, rendering settings, all the formats, all the information here is available to you, so you can get right now and start exploring Vray, checking those rendering settings, and of course using them to create your visualizations, your 3D work. So this is it. Get it now. You can check the vrayguide.com. It's my blog. You can find the information of how to get this book. And I see you next time, and I hope you get this book, and post a comment and write me. I'll be glad to get your feedbacks and answer your questions. This was Alex, your Vray guide. Talk soon. Bye.